everybody, and welcome to Nashua's ETV broadcast of the Nashua South Bedford game. We're also on BCTV 23. Great to be joined by Mike Robinson and Harry Kozlowski. So tonight, it's South against Bedford. And guys, it's been advantage Bedford all season long, and I don't see any reason for that to change tonight.
Well, Bedford comes in with a strong 5-0 record, and this is a team you got to be reckoned with on both sides of the ball. I want to thank Tom King for letting me join him, and John Collins, who's on vacation tonight. You're going to find out.
He's always on vacation.
You're going to find out. You're going to find out what kind of a guy he is by listening to me tonight. So we're going to welcome him back after his vacation. But I want to thank you guys for having me here. But yeah, Bedford, you got to look out for Bedford, both sides of the ball. 220 yards, 220 points scored for Bedford. They only gave up 17 the whole year, Tom. And that all starts with the quarterback. You're going to be looking at a kid named Ton Morgan. He's a second-year starter. 5 touchdowns for Morgan. He's 39 for 92.
Right.
Average yards per game for Bedford, offensive yards, is 415 yards, passing 160.
But you haven't gotten to the kid I like the most, Ryan Toscano.
Well, when you talk about Ryan Toscano, you talk about both sides of the ball. He's the guy in the backfield. You're going to see with Morgan, he's going to catch the ball, he's going to run with the ball, and on the other side of the ball, he plays defense.
He's excellent.
And he picked off a pass here. I think it was game 1 against Nashua North, ran it all the way back. You're going to look out for Toscano.
Even better, he made a couple of big tackles inside, stopped Curtis Harris at the goal line against Nashua North. Nashua South, 60 points run up against Keene, and then they ran into a situation where Merrimack shut them out, and they were held to 2 touchdowns, actually 14 points. It wasn't 2 touchdowns against Nashua North last week. It was 2 touchdowns against Nashua North last week in a rivalry game. Dante Young really has played well as a junior starter at quarterback, but he has been under duress the last couple of games. They have been in his backfield, and I think Nashua South needs a lift from its offensive line. Also, I don't know if Tanner Plord, their free safety and also all-purpose receiver, is healthy. He was out last week. They sorely missed him. He's not a signal caller, but he basically aligns everybody on defense. And South's got a lot of young players. So we're going to have to see how that works out for them tonight against Bedford, a Bedford team which is extremely strong and probably the top-rated team in the schedule cluster that we have.
Harry, go ahead.
I think for Nashua South to have any effectiveness on offense today, they're going to have to somehow contain Bedford's pass rush.
Tough to do, Harry. Against the way they've played offensively up front the last couple of weeks, they have been under siege the entire time. It's been really difficult.
Well, Bedford's on a shutout streak of 11 quarters. They haven't given up any kind of score in the last 11 quarters played. The last points they gave up were against Goffstown on September 14th, which was a touchdown in the first quarter, which gave Goffstown a lead, one of the few times that Bedford actually was behind this year. And really for the entire season, only 3 scoring plays allowed by this Bedford defense. So
one of the guys that Bedford will have to watch out for, basically, he can run the ball. He is a football player, and he's got more speed than he had a year ago because he lost a lot of weight in the offseason after shoulder surgery and decided to basically change his eating habits and change the way he plays the game, and he has been even more effective, but he hasn't really been that healthy. I think the weight loss has hurt him in a sense that he's taken a lot of hits.
Yeah, it's always hard for players to adjust to that.
It is.
It takes time.
It does, and you know, this is his last year, so he'll probably play somewhere in college at a small college level. But Pacheco, if he has a good game tonight, South may be able to hang in there for a little bit. Gentlemen, how do you like the new scoreboards here as we see it on the view at Stello Stadium, installed just in time for the North-South rivalry stuff last weekend?
Well, I was here for the season opener against North, and I remember that the clock sometimes had a few lights missing, so we had a little trouble knowing exactly how much time was on the clock. These scoreboards are amazing. I don't know what that is. It kind of looks like a fluorescent light. The numbers are clear. You can see them a mile away. And now you got the Jumbotron in the south end zone, too. Do they ever do any videos on that? Any replays?
They've done some photos. They haven't done any videos yet, but it's something that they're trying to, to work the kinks out of. It's the same company that installed the Holman Stadium scoreboard, so it's the same concept and everything else. So they're really looking forward to using this. It's going to be fun the rest of the way. And also the speakers are to our left at the bottom of the scoreboard. They'll come out of the scoreboard. When you're on the field, you can hear them pretty well. So, and here comes South on the field right now. Again, this is all about health. It's all about, basically, I think for South, their offense is different. I think if you guys have seen them in the past, the up-tempo style and everything else, that's changed a little bit. They don't have the people, I don't think, to really pull that off like they had before.
Well, they do run the spread offense, and I saw a couple of game films. They run it pretty effectively when it works, like any spread offense. One thing I want to say about Bedford, you'd mentioned Ryan Toscano, and he is a force in this game, no question for Bedford. But if Nashua North decides to key on him, then you better keep your eyes on a guy named Harry Lagulon, number 7. I call him Gronk. He lines up as a wide receiver. He lines up as a tight end. He's going to come around on jet sweeps, take the ball, and with his speed and his momentum, he's going to get on the field. Another kid you're going to be looking for is a kid by the name of Mapini, number 5. Kid who will take our hold on one second, we'll do the national anthem. We'll be right back. By the Purple Panther Marching Band, the national anthem.
And you also saw an example of that video on the board, the flag waving. It's even still going right now. So technology has found Stella Stadium, and we'll see what kind of football finds Stella Stadium tonight.
Well, we're going to find that out pretty quick, Tom, and we're going to come out for the coin toss here pretty quick, but I'm just going to wrap up. Donahue, number 17, and Green, number 11 for Bedford, along with Mumpini, another kid to watch if you start trying to shut down Toscano or Lagulon. So,
all right, guys, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to do my other job tonight, and we'll be back. I'll see you late in the second quarter.
Thanks for the heads up, Tom, and the start. We appreciate it. We look forward to having you back.
Captains for Nashua South, number 17, Tanner Floyd, number 31.
So this is coming to everybody through Nashua ETV in conjunction with BCTV and Bedford 105 Radio. We want to welcome our listening audience around the state and around the country and around the World Wide Web, because we are streaming out.
Yeah, we always get quite a spike in our streaming numbers for our sports broadcast, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to be keeping an eye on other games throughout Division I for you today, and not to mention Yankee Sox. That's going to first pitch at 7:30 tonight. Exeter is hosting Spalding, Dover hosting Portsmouth, Keene hosts Merrimack. Let's see, Memorial at Concord. Goffstown Central, that's at Gill Stadium. That's going to be a pretty good contest. Pinkerton is at Timberlane in Plastow. And actually, here's an excellent contest tonight to watch for Salem and Windham, two towns that used to share the high school at Salem. And, of course, Windham went off on their own and have climbed out from Division II a couple of championships there into Division I. They'll be at Salem tonight. That's going to be quite a big game. And actually another good one, too, is Londonderry hosting Winnicott, two pretty strong teams there, too. So a lot of good games on the docket tonight. We're going to try to keep an eye on them best that we can, as well as bringing you all the action.
So we want to welcome everybody that's listening to our audience. A couple of heads ups to the Tom Morgan's family. We understand they're listening from Michigan, Florida, Arizona, and Virginia. We want to welcome the Morgan family. We know the Twights are down there, down south in greater Atlanta, and they always tune into the show. So welcome to the Twight family and their relatives up here in beautiful Nashua, New Hampshire. 53 degrees on a crisp autumn night here in Nashua, New Hampshire. Stello Stadium, Mata Field. We're going to be ready to kick this thing off. 2-3. Nashua won the toss, and they're going to be they deferred. So they're going to kick off to Bedford 5-0. We're going to see what Bedford brings to the table. We're going to see what Nashua can do to stop this Bedford program that's clicking on all cylinders at this point. Caseling kicking off for Nashua, number 3.
And we have Mumpini in the back.
Mumpini, Donahue deep for Bedford. Nashua ready to kick this thing off. And we're underway at Stello Stadium. That's going to come down to Mumpini. Side to 20, 25, up to the 30. Gets a block, cuts it outside. 41 man to beat. Pat midfield, cuts back 40. Gets to the 35, 30, downfield. Finally dragged behind to about 20-yard line by two Panthers. And Mumpini with a big return into South territory.
You know, that's just another skill that Lucian has, is he's got a lot of patience on these returns. He waited for his blocks. He picked up the ball at 15, returned it for 65 yards, put Bedford in excellent scoring position right off the bat. He waited very carefully for his blockers, his wall to form, and just followed his blockers and was able to find a way all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Toscano brings out the Bulldogs. 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan waiting for the snap with Toscano in the backfield. We got a whistle right now.
Some confusion about who's supposed to be on the field.
Well, it could have been an equipment issue too, and they sent them
okay,
off.
Lagulon is off, and number 24 is taking his place.
So here we are, ready for the snap.
That's Bourgeois, I believe, right? 24?
Morgan ready for the snap. Hands off to Toscano, up the middle. Nashua guy drags him down, gets to the 20, and then stopped.
2-yard gain there for Toscano.
Arneson with the stop for Nashua South. Bulldogs with a big kickoff return deep into Nashua territory. 2nd down with about 7 to go. Again, 2 receivers set. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Man in motion. That's Mumpini. Hand off to Mumpini. Cuts back up the middle. 1 man to beat and dragged down inside the 10.
And that was a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Nashua South. Mumpini was moving to his left and then cut back when he found the seam open up, and he gained enough for a first down there, at least 9 yards on that play.
Lagulon, tight end to the left-hand side. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. 2 receivers set. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap comes back. Hands off to Toscano, and he's immediately dragged down by the entire Bedford South defense. No gain on that one.
Yeah, the Panthers are waiting for Toscano right there. It gave him no room to operate. Just a big wall of purple that brought the big back down. And now we're at 2nd down with no gain. 2nd down and 10.
So, Green, Mumpini, Lagulon. 3 receivers set to the left. Green to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap back to pass. Looks this side, fires into the flats. Caught by Lagulon. Dragging a player with him. Breaks a tackle. Breaks 3 tackles and in the end zone. Harry Lagulon with a great touchdown. Dragging Panthers with him into the end zone. 4 or 5 guys couldn't bring him down. Touchdown Bedford with 9:57 to go in the first quarter. Lagulon, what a play.
You know, I was about to give the Panthers some credit for bottling him up. Yeah, I mean, Plord for Nashua South had had the Tiger by the toe there, and he just couldn't slow the big man down. He was able to wrestle his way through a number of tackles to the end zone. He wouldn't be denied.
Madison Lucatoni for the extra point. Snap down, kick is up, and it is good. Madison Lucatoni adding to her what I call a career year for her extra points, Harry, point after, and her field goals that she's made. She's the real deal. Bedford leads 7-0 early in this game with 9:57 to go. What do you think, Harry, opening drive?
Well, it all got going with the kickoff return by Mumpini, 65 yards all the way down to the 22-yard line. And the Panthers made a couple of good plays, but, you know, a guy like Lagulon just wouldn't be denied the end zone.
Well, I mentioned earlier that he's like a Gronk. I like him. He's a Gronk type player.
That's a very apt analogy, and he looked like it there.
Big, strong kid. 2-3 guys aren't going to bring him down, and he just showed it right there. So Bedford ready to kick this thing off.
So Bobotis is handling the kickoff here, I believe. Yes, number 19.
Sabotis.
19, Ryan Bobotis to kick off for the Bulldogs.
Ready to kick this thing
11,
off.
Braden Frost.
Frost back deep for South. Kickers away. Deep, end over end. Puts Frost back to the 5-yard line. Comes up to the 10, 15. Cuts far side 20. Breaks a tackle. 25. Gets up to the 30-yard line. Nice run back.
That was a terrific run back. He found a seam, and one Bedford tackler was able to slow him down enough to give a chance for his other brothers to come back and take him down. But good drive start for the Panthers. They're going to be at the 30-yard line, and they got to find a way to respond here to Bedford in their opening drive.
So we got Young, number 10 for Nashua South. And he's rocking that pink undergarment with pink socks on, now I'm sure that's Pachenko, excuse me, on National Breast Care Awareness Month. So good to see that out in the field for Nashua South. Young, make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, comes back, waiting for the snap. Snap comes back, Pachenko, far side, cuts it up, gets 2 or 3 yards, and moves the Bedford players back. Positive yards for Pachenko.
He found a seam to the left and was able to take advantage of that and move the ball about 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 to go here for the Panthers.
So Nashua comes out. They're running the spread offense as well. They're going to do a 2-receiver set. One to the left, one to the left, one to the right. 2 tight end set. Pachenko in the backfield with Young. Man in motion, handoff motion man coming this way and immediately brought down. That was a great tackle by
Toscano.
Number 39, Ryan Toscano. We mentioned about him offensively, this kid can play. Don't disregard this guy on defense because he's the real deal.
5-yard loss there for the Panthers. You know, that play was in trouble right from the get-go. Toscano sniffed it out, and he was waiting for the Panther runner to just run right into his arms.
That's taught on the practice field. Stay home, don't commit. Guy comes your way, tackle him. All right, Nashua comes out. This time 2-receiver set. 3 to the left, 1 to the right.
3rd and 12.
Young waiting for the snap. Back, looking to pass. Plenty of protection, and then it breaks down, and a slew of Bedford Bulldogs bring him down. He had great protection back there. He held on to the ball a smidgen too long. If he had gotten rid of it, he would have not gotten that sack.
He had an opportunity to make the throw, but I was concentrating on the pocket. I wasn't watching to see if he had anybody to throw to, so I can't say if he missed an opportunity there. But, you know, you can only hold the Bulldogs off so long on the pass rush.
So now the Panthers are going to punt. Punt is back, kicks away. It's
Toscano
not that
almost
deep.
there.
It's almost straight up in the air, and then goes out of bounds about the Nashua 35-yard line. So not a healthy punt for Nashua.
No, only about a 7-yard net gain there for the Panthers. I think Toscano, he could have went in the block, and he might have kind of threw the punter for a loop, made him think twice there, and wound up shanking the ball to the right sideline. And
7:47 to go in the first quarter. Bedford leading 7-0 with their second possession of the game. Bedford comes out. Now we have 2 running backs in the backfield with Morgan. 2 receiver set, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. That's Lagulon back there. Back to pass. Morgan, plenty of time, rolls far side. rolls far side, avoids a tackler, fires deep, and it is overthrown. Mompini was overthrown. He had plenty of time.
He did,
but he
and
overthrew him.
he did overthrow him. He could have just taken a little bit off that pass. It would have been a touchdown. And did you notice how Thomas was directing his receiver to make the play there? He was running out to the flat to the right and leading Mompini on to say go for the end zone. He managed to dodge one sack attempt. He had a very close call there, but he was able to get the ball away, but incomplete.
So ball is on the Nashua 35-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 10, 7:38 to go here at Stellos Stadium, Mata Field in Nashua. Again, 2 running backs in the backfield with Morgan. This time handoff to Lagula on far side, and he's immediately tackled by a host of Nashua South defenders.
That was Brendan Frost.
That was a loss.
Brendan Frost, number 11, blew that play up. It seems that Toscano's having kind of a tough night tonight because the Panther defense is keen on him. And Frost came in and just blew up the hole that they had opened for Toscano and wound up being a loss of 3 yards there.
So now Bedford comes out, 2 receivers set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Morgan with Toscano in the backfield. Snap is back, Morgan's back, under pressure, a lot of pressure, and he's going to go down. A great individual play by Nashua South.
That was a huge loss, 20-plus yards, and I think Toscano, he was the blocker on that play. I think he might have got away with a hold.
Yeah.
The official put his flag in his pocket, didn't throw it there, but the result is almost a 20-yard loss, so it's even better than a holding penalty.
So now Bedford's going to kick this thing away after a quick 3-and-out and a huge loss. 6:28 to go, 7-0 Bedford here in the first quarter here at Stellos Stadium, Mata Field in Nashua. Snap, punt is away. And that's going to take a Bedford bounce, and that's going to roll inside the 20, get down to about the 17-yard line where Nashua South's going to take over for their second possession.
Yeah, Brandon Frost was the man back for the punt, and he decided to just let it roll instead of trying to catch it in a crowd. Probably a good idea there, not to risk a turnover. 6:11 left here in the first quarter. Bulldogs up 7-0, but the Panthers able to shut them out on that drive in a 3-and-out, capped by a huge sack there by Brendan Frost.
You're listening to Nashua ETV, Bedford BC TV, and Bedford 105.1 Radio. All right, here we go. Young waiting for the snap. Pacheco in the backfield. Going to be handed to Pacheco. This side gets breaking about 4-yard gain. Nice run over tackle.
He might have gotten away with a little bit more if he wasn't tripped up at the last minute by Pantelakis, Alexander Pantelakis, who was able to get his arm on his legs and tripped him up and kept him from getting more yardage there.
So positive gain on Nashua South's first possession, a second possession of the first half. Young waiting for the snap, comes back, hands again to Pacheco, and he gets bottled up in the middle by a slew of Bedford defenders.
Yeah, he might have gotten about a yard there. The hole didn't open up for him this time like it did on the last play, so Bedford was ready for him there, and now they're going to force him to a 3rd down and 5 here with 5:22 left here in the first quarter.
So Knesset, Williams, Twite, Helton, Bourgeois, that front 4 for Bedford. Stellar work this year so far. Nashua South, Martin, Fleury, Tejeda, and Arneson, and O'Donnell snapping. Young waiting for the ball, Pacheco in the backfield. Got a whistle here, and we got a flag. Is it a delay of game?
They're calling, yes, it is a delay of game.
So delay of game, Nashua. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't think it was that much time.
No, it didn't feel like it. And, you know, of course, here in NHIA high school ball, there are no clocks in the end zone like the pros in college have. So that's got to be a little tough for a quarterback, not knowing for sure how much time they have to get the snap off.
Plus, some of these guys might be Yankee and Red Sox fans and the pinstripes out there, and they want to get this game over so they can watch the
they might.
the baseball series. So.
Oh, they're going to miss the first few innings at least. That's not going to get started until 7:30. We will keep you updated on the score. Trust me, we've got it up here on the computer.
Harry's on top of that. Harry's our statistician, and Harry's the guy who's going to bring in, doing a great job running Bedford 105.1 Radio. And
thank you very much.
And here high above Stellar's Field, calling helping out with the numbers, and caller, he does a great job.
Well, we appreciate our support, all the listeners and viewers that we get all over the place. Like I said, our streaming numbers are off the charts every time we do a game. So thank you for everyone for supporting what we do.
So Young waiting for the snap. Pacheco in the backfield. Snap comes back, backs the pass. Plenty of protection. All of a sudden it breaks down, and it was Bourgeois that hit him, and Bedford on a turnover takes over at the 20-yard line. So once again, plenty of time. He had plenty of protection back there. Seems like he's holding on to the ball just a smidgen too long, and then it's going to collapse, and that time it did, and it happened to be a turnover.
That time I took my eye off the pocket and tried to take a look at the layout of the receivers, and nobody really looked open, but I also noticed that they were all really heading downfield. All they needed was about 12 yards, and it looked like all the receivers were 20-plus yards downfield, so maybe next time they need to run some shorter routes and give the quarterback a chance to make a play.
So Morgan with Toscano in the backfield. Looks like Toscano moved. He got away with one, went right side, and again, I don't think he gained anything before he was dragged down.
No, they bottled him up again right there. No gain. I was going to say that the goal for the Panthers in this game, I guess you can call it a key to the game, is to just avoid these negative plays, avoid the sacks, avoid the penalties, as long as they can get some positive yardage.
Avoid the turnovers.
Avoid the turnovers. Just keep the ball moving forward. They'll have a chance in this game. But in this case, they 2 times now they waited too long to get the pass off, and that time it resulted not only in an incompletion but a fumble.
2 receivers set to the right, 2 to the left. In motion, Lagulon. Hand off to Lagulon. Coming this side. Stops. Cuts in the middle. Avoids a tackle. Cuts far side. Cuts into the 15, 10, 5. Did he get it? He got in there.
He did.
Touchdown! 20-yard run by Harry Lagulon for his second score of the game. And once again, you saw his ability as an athlete, the cutback, avoid blocks, and get in for the second Bedford score with 4:02 remaining in the first quarter to make it 13-0.
That was an amazing move right there by Lagulon. He was moving to his left, ran into a wall of purple, just stopped in his tracks, went the other way, found a crease on the side, and just fought his way to the end zone. I wasn't sure if he made it. From the angle from our press box, they thought he might have stepped out of bounds, but the official was right there, and they said he was in.
And Madison Lucatoni does what she's been doing all year, adding the point after for a 14-0 Bedford lead. 4:02 to go here, Stellar's Stadium, Mata Field in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's all about turnovers. You turn the ball over to Bedford, and you're going to pay, and that's what Nashua South has done, and they've paid both times.
You could almost call a big return a turnover because you're giving up a lot of field position right there. And
it's a special teams for sure.
Special teams play breakdown. So those are the big mistakes, I think, that are hurting the Panthers because, quite honestly, I think they're doing a pretty good job on defense. They're bottling up Toscano, and I guess where they're failing is they're unable to wrap these guys up like Lagulon on the last 2 plays. He just they had him caught at the 10-yard line on the previous touchdown. He was able to wiggle out of that, and then right there they had him bottled up behind the line of scrimmage, and he was able to escape that.
So Bedford ready to kick this thing off. Ball's away. It's not that deep. Going to come to the short man at the 20, 25, 30. And a
fumble.
Tackle, ball's on the ground, and it looks like Nashua covered it. So
I think the official's going to call it a down ball or at least a forward progress back to the 30-yard line. So the second time now they'll be starting at the 30-yard line. And now they're in a 14-point deficit with 3:57 to play. So they've got to start putting some positive plays together, at least get a couple of first downs before this game gets completely out of hand.
So this is an important drive for Nashua South because they haven't done anything so far. They need to do something. They're going to need to move the sticks a few times in order to keep Bedford honest. So here we go. Young waiting for the snap. Hands to Pacheco, far side, breaks a tackle. Nice break, gets up. A nice 7-8 yard run for Pacheco. So every time Pacheco's touched the ball, he's had positive yards here, Harry.
Yes, he's been a bright light here for the Panthers so far, and that was a good run. It showed some power when a Bedford tackler had him by the jersey. He was able to drag him along for a yard or two, and get some even more yardage there.
Tom Kane was talking about how strong this kid is, and there's an example of that last play. So Here we go. Young waiting for the snap. Young comes back, hands to Pacheco. He falls forward. Looks like he's got enough for a first down.
Yeah, the spot looks like it's beyond the 40.
Well, the near side official is a little light of the 40, but the far side official, they're both there. Not quite. So he's got about a half a yard to go. And it's going to be third down. It says 1. I don't think it's 1 with 3:03
About a half yard. Yeah, Pacheco didn't have much to work with as far as a crease to get through, and the Bedford front four was able to kind of snuff that out. He's powerful, but he's not powerful enough to move 4 bodies.
So Nashua calls timeout here with 2:59, and you know what? Smart timeout, Harry. The coach says we need a half a yard. They want to concentrate on getting this. They've got to move the sticks against Bedford in order to keep this thing close.
Pacheco again, up the middle.
Well, if I had a quarterback sneak option, I'd go right into center and push it forward.
And now we got a timeout. Is it a second timeout being called or a full timeout?
Looks like they... Wait, did they call a timeout the first time? I don't know. Let's see.
Or maybe it was Bedford who was calling the timeout.
Maybe it was an official's timeout.
Because I assume in high school you can't can't call 2 timeouts back to back. That's not allowed.
Well, looks like they just did it because they're down to 1 timeout. So
Oh, okay. Well,
they might have changed the
live
rules
and
on
learn.
this, Harry.
Well, I mean, high school is a little different than the pros in college.
So I did a little research on Nashua. Of course, they split into 2 high schools a few years back, but the original high school, which was in the location where they are now, in 1952, they won their first state championship in football. And over the next dozen years, they won 8 times. They were state champs, 13-time overall state champions. And the last one, I believe, and if I get this wrong, people will tell me, the last one was in 08, where Nashua South won a thrilling 33-32 win over Pinkerton. And when anybody takes a win over Pinkerton, it's a victory. So good pedigree here in Nashua for football, and they go back way back. So nice to be here, part of the memories. Here we go. Handoff this side. It is being brought, and that is a first down. I want to say that's number 11. That's Frost. Looks like they got that first down. So
how surprised are you that we ran that play out of a shotgun?
Well, you know what? I thought it was going to go to Pacheco. I'm more shocked it didn't go to Pacheco, but maybe everyone was keying on him and they give it to Frost and they move the sticks, which they needed to do, and that's what they did. So first down, Nashua, 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter with Bedford leading 14-0. Nashua with the ball in their own 40, going from our left to right. This time it is to Pacheco, tries to get up, and he immediately gets brought down, maybe for a half-yard gain, maybe no gain, but it was immediately brought down.
Yeah, he tried to cut to his right and wasn't able to find the seam to get anywhere, and he got pulled down for pretty much no gain, so they're going to call it 2nd and 10 here.
So 2nd and 10, ball's on the 41-yard line on Nashua, going from our left to right. 1:51 to go in the first quarter. Young back to pass, fires over to the flat. There's a flag down, caught, gets a nice 6-yard gain. But let's see what the flag's all about. Going to be penalty, roughing the passer, hit to the head, Bedford, personal foul. That's going to be an automatic first down, and I think they're going to tack on 15 yards on that one, Harry.
That was actually a great play call there by the Panthers with the it was kind of a wide receiver screen to the left, and they were able to gain 5 yards on the play.
So it is going to be a personal foul. They're going to walk that off 15 yards.
It was an unfortunate. I'm sure it wasn't intentional. I was kind of watching the play. I didn't follow what happened afterwards, but I would imagine it would be just unintentional.
Harry, I would be surprised at this level. I've been watching football in New Hampshire for many years, and I've yet to see somebody intentionally try to hurt somebody. So it happens, and they throw the flag, and you move on.
You know, you put your arms up to block a pass, and it comes down and hits the quarterback in the helmet, and you get a flag. I think that happened last night in Foxborough too, didn't it?
I'm sure it did. All right, so Young waiting for the snap with Pacheco in the backfield. This time it's handed to Pacheco. Good pull opening, and he scoots right through it for about another 6 or 7 yard gain for Pacheco. Nice job.
Yeah, he kind of stepped to his left and was able to find a seam and got up for about a 5 yard gain. And now it looks like he might be injured, or somebody's down.
There's a Bedford player down out there.
Oh, okay.
We're going to, the trainer immediately out there, And we'll get you a name and a number here pretty quick. So if that's 71, that's Hilton. If that's 71.
Yeah, we don't want to give the wrong number here, but he's laying on his back, and we can't quite make the number out.
Somebody up here threw the number out. Yeah, we'll make sure we confirm it. The good news is the trainer's out there. He's on his back. You know, he's moving his legs. He's moving his arms. We might have a lower leg, ankle, knee, but
somebody could have stepped on his foot and
yeah,
caused him to twist his ankle or something. We'll.
What's nice is that yeah, plenty of movement down there. So they're going to attend to him, and obviously this player will come off the field for at least one play. We hope. And he'll come right back on, but we'll see. So he's starting to sit up now.
It is number
We
71.
have a number, so it is Hilton. Hold on. Is it? You got that 71, Harry?
Thought it was.
Yeah, 71.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm right. You're wrong.
So, but the good news is up he comes on his own power, and he's
That's a
limping
good
off.
sign.
So that is a good sign. And although Bedford can't afford to have any more players go down because they lost 2 guys in their first game, and we can't have any more, you know, the big guys in the line go down. But anyways, he's going to come off, and we're going to get this thing going. Good to see him coming off in his own power.
And here we have the Panthers finally getting some momentum going. A big penalty helped, but they're making positive plays. They're getting yards. Pacheco is able to gain big chunks here, and now they're approaching scoring territory.
Young waiting for the snap. Hands to Pacheco, and immediately he's brought down by a host of Bedford defenders. He's going nowhere. So that's going to bring it up to a 3rd and 4 from the Bedford 34. They are in Bedford territory, courtesy of that 15-yard personal foul against Bedford.
No room there. I thought he might have tried to break it outside. He would have had better luck, but instead he tried to find that seam and got swallowed up.
14-0 Bedford, 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. We've got Pacheco in the backfield with Young. Young waiting for the snap. He comes back, rolls this way, looking to pass, look downfield, fires downfield, and that is caught on a beautiful circus catch. That was great. That was number 11. That was Frost. That's going to make a highlight film when you run this back and you see it again. That was a heck of a catch.
If you're not watching it on TV, Frost had to go down for the ball and wound up kind of doing a juggle with it. He was kind of juggling it while he was laying on the ground and finally came down with the loose ball, and he got up and he showed the official, said, I caught it.
Which you have to sell. You got to sell those, Harry. Not that he needed to sell it because it was a great catch by Frost, and more importantly, it moved the sticks. Ball's on the 24-yard line, but that's going to let the clock tick out in the first quarter, with the first quarter ending in Bedford, the Bulldogs of Bedford 14, and Nashua South Panthers nothing. Calling the game from Stello Stadium, Motta Field. I'm Mike Robinson with Harry Kozlowski. Want to thank Bill Jennings over there doing some technical work. Pete Johnson, want to thank Pete from Nashua ETV. We also want to thank John Collins for taking the night off, and we can step in and fill those big shoes. We'll hope we're doing the right thing for him. Tom King's down on the field. He'll come back. I'm Mike Robinson with BCTV and Bedford 105.1 Radio. And
we'll give you a quick rundown of the scoring plays. It was on the very first possession, set up by a 65-yard kickoff return by Lucian Mumpini. Thomas Morgan connected 10 yards out to Harry Lagulon, who broke a tackle and fought his way to the end zone. That made it 7-0. And then at the 4:02 mark of the first period, it was Lagulon again, a 20-yard run. He went left, ran into a wall of blockers or tacklers, changed direction quickly and found a crease on the side and was able to hit the corner, and that made it 14-0. Of course, Luke and Tony perfect on the extra point. So that's where we find ourselves now. But the Panthers are on the move. They are on the 24-yard line with first down to go, 1st and 10, and they're finally making some progress here in this game.
So the Panthers come out with their spread offense. 2 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Pacheco in the backfield with Young. Ready for the snap. It's a first down play. Young gets it, hands it Pacheco far side, tries to cut up, and he's immediately stopped and dragged down. Maybe a 1, possibly a 2-yard gain.
I think he got 2 yards, and he kind of powered his way through a tackle to get that yard. I was going to say I really appreciate the yellow sleeves on Pacheco because there's no mistaking who he is on the field.
They're pink, Harry. We got a little color issue there. That's I think it's breast cancer awareness month. So, but you're right about that. He is giving us a good flag to look at. So checking the play over here, Nashua South holds up these series of letters and numbers from the sideline, so he does check it. And Young waiting it. Young, again, hands off to Pacheco, and he's brought down for maybe a yard gain, so that's going to bring up
third down. And
third and maybe 7 on the 24-yard line.
Andrew Twite was right there along with number 59. Big tag. That was Pantelakis. The two of them combined to stuff that run.
So now Nashua looking over to try and move. This is a big play for them. This is a third down. It says first and in the score, but it's actually third down and 8
yeah.
here. And ball is on the 22-yard line of Bedford. Making an adjustment.
The coaches are yelling to hurry up on the play.
So,
and do they get caught here?
No,
or are they going to call timeout?
They called a timeout, and actually they called their last timeout with 10:34 to go in the second quarter, Harry. So a little confusion out there.
It's a shame they had to burn through all their timeouts, but it is the first half, the first quarter. It's not like you're going to use them up for the rest of the game. And, you're not going to waste an opportunity here. You're as close to the end zone as you've been all game. And just because things took a while to develop, that's the time you got to burn that timeout, because otherwise you're giving up 5 yards and then all of a sudden you've got a 3rd and 13.
Well, it does look like they got a 3rd and 13. Come to think of it, maybe a flag was thrown. So, anyways, Young waiting, man in motion. Motion coming this way. Young back under pressure, fires, caught. Number 11. That's number 11.
Frost.
And he's not going to get close to a first down. However, this being New Hampshire football and in 2-down territory, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it here.
Well, they've got. It looks like 5 yards to gain to make it to get a first down here, and
unless you got a kicker like Madison Lucatoni, which I don't think Nashua has because they aren't bringing them out.
Yeah, they haven't even attempted to bring the kicker out here. So here we go.
For it now, it's 4th down and 5. Ball is on the 20-yard line. Trying to get some to move the sticks. Young waiting for the snap. Comes back, looks far side.
Oh, great
fires
catch.
And caught,
but short.
And it's close to the first. It's really close.
Short.
Harry. But let's see what happens. The
that
way
was
he's marking it, it's about a half yard short, and Bedford's going to take over on downs.
Which is a real shame because it was a throw into traffic, and it was a great catch by the receiver. I didn't catch the number, but he tried to get
number 12 that caught that.
Number
would have
12.
been Keith.
It was, like I said, it was a great catch. Unfortunately, he couldn't fall forward enough to get the first down. Short by maybe half a yard.
So Bedford takes over on the 15-yard line with 9:45 to go, moving from our left to right. Morgan in the backfield. I think that's Toscano. Let's see. Then I don't see the number. Now we got a official timeout.
Well, they're not throwing the replay flag here, are they?
No, they are not throwing the replay.
Check that spot.
Anyway, so that is Toscano back there. 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan straight back to pass, plenty of protection. Fires. Wow, it went right through the hand. That would have been a wild play to look at. Went right through the hands of number 11, which is Green, and bounced to Mumpini. So
Nathaniel Tejeda.
That would have been an assist.
Nathaniel Tejeda hit Green right when that ball came. Broke the play up.
That's incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Bedford again, 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Lagulon in motion. Fake to Lagulon, pitched handoff to Toscano, and Nashua was waiting for that one. They weren't biting on that Lagulon handoff.
No, and like I said, I think they must have a spy on Toscano because he's just not getting any progress on any of his running plays. They're just waiting for him every time he gets the ball.
And it looks like he fell forward for a yard, so it's 3rd and 9. Ball on the 16-yard line with 9:14 to go till halftime. Bedford comes out this time with a 2 receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan deep in their own territory. Waiting for the snap, gets the snap, comes back under a lot of pressure, breaks away, looks downfield, fires downfield. Receiver has to come back and just misses it. And that was Mumpini, who was coming back on the ball. And that would have been a heck of a play, heck of a catch, because Morgan had to break away from a couple of defenders, one defender in particular, toss it downfield, incomplete. So Bedford's going to have to punt there.
Number 26, Jason Campo for the Panthers was the one who put the pressure on Morgan. Had to make him scramble on that play, and the throw was a little high, but I think it's the kind of play that Mumpini has been able to make in the past. So it was a pretty close call there.
So Thomas Crowley now is back to punt for Bedford, and back to receive for the Panthers.
Thomas Crowley to punt for the Bulldogs.
I don't see his number from my angle, but we'll get that for you. So Crowley waiting for the snap. Snap
Oh,
back. That
blocked.
was almost blocked.
It is blocked.
I think it was blocked. And Crowley went down, but because he got a piece of it, no flag. Great play for the Nashua South player to block that, and they're going to get great field position now.
But how much mustard did Crowley put on that ball to blow it through a block? I mean, it was blocked, and yet it still managed to move ahead about 20 yards.
So great partial block, I guess we'll call it, because it wasn't a full block. But
that's going to leave a mark.
Great. It's going to leave a mark, is right. So with 8:43 to go until halftime, and Bedford leading 14-0, Nashua taking over the ball inside Bedford territory on their 35-yard line. Young waiting for the snap. Got a man in motion. Hands off to the motion man. Comes up and falls forward. Campo with the pick up to the 35-yard line.
Looks like about a gain of 1 right there. We've got a score to report on. Londonderry on their very first possession scored 7-0 ahead of Winnicott down in Londonderry.
That's going to be a good game. Winnicott, they were talking about that in the paper today about what a great defense Winnicott has, and Londonderry scores first. So.
Well, the Union Leader sent their A reporter there, Roger Brown.
There we go. All right, here we go. Young waiting for the snap. Pacheco in the background. Comes with an end around this way, and that's Frost. Looks like a flag's down. He's tackled on a positive gain, but we got a flag thrown by the back judge, and that tells me there's holding.
And that's what it is. You just made that show there, the signal.
Yeah. Every time that back judge throws that yellow hanky, 9 times out of 10 it's holding, unless you're roughing the quarterback.
Yeah, that was kind of a slow developing play, and was it number 11? Get that number again. Was it Frost? He was kind of trying to feel his way through a crowd and still managed to put 5 yards gain there, which of course has been wiped out here by the holding.
So that was a big penalty against Nashua South. That is moving the ball back where they had momentum in Bedford territory. Now they're at midfield with 8:02 to go till halftime. We got Tom King joining us back in the booth. I know he's doing his homework here, so he may not be with us right away. So
that's a huge loss there.
All right,
the second and 24. Again, those mistakes. They got to avoid those negative plays.
So Young waiting for the snap. Pacheco in the backfield. Young hands off to Pacheco up the middle. Beautiful breaks tackles, and it still takes about 4 or 5 Bedford defenders to drag him down. That was like a 6-yard carry. It was a nice pickup.
Yeah, but they still have 18 to go. Yeah, he's showing a lot of power, but now 3rd and 18. It's going to be a tough amount to make up here to get a first down to keep the play going. But with a good punt, they'll be able to pin Bedford down deep in their own end. So sometimes you just got to play for field position.
So here we go. Young brings him out. Pacheco in the backfield, waiting for the snap. Young back.
Blindside, fumble.
Down. Ball's down, and a lot of Bedford guys around it. Bedford's indicating they have it, and the officials are indicating Bedford has it. So another turnover. I'm not sure if that's number 2 or number 3 for Nashua South, but turnovers are killing them.
It's the second. Guys, it's a second fumble.
It's what I told you before. He's going to be under duress most of the night. They're not getting the help up front that they need. It's been that way the last 2 weeks against really good teams. You can see it, and you're seeing it again tonight.
Well, he just didn't feel the
he's had some protection
the pass
though, Tom.
rush.
He's just been holding on to the ball a little bit. But
well, I think his sense of fear is starting to, not fear, but he's starting to get happy feet.
That
you notice
be.
that.
That could
you know?
be.
And in some ways, I don't blame him the way things have gone the last 2 weeks.
So Morgan waiting for the snap. Morgan hands it to Toscano, and Toscano.
No, Morgan keeps
it. He's down to the 40, 35. That was a fake to Toscano, and I even faked me out. It faked out all the Nashua guys, and Tommy Morgan goes down for a huge game.
Well, he picked up about 25 yards on that play, and I think Coach Stank was taking advantage of the way the Panther defense was keying on Toscano, sold that fake, and then Morgan took off, and he's a threat to run too. His stats show that he's a very effective runner as well.
So Harry Lagulon filling in the tight end slot, Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan now flips it to Lagulon. Lagulon cuts it to the 25. Again, 4 or 5 Panthers trying to bring him down. He gets to about the 22-yard line.
Good for a first down.
Nice little inside handoff pitch to Lagulon, and he picks up a big play for another first down for Bedford. Clock is ticking, 6:33 to go till halftime. Inside Nashua territory, ball's on the 23-yard line.
We got another score here. Wyndham out in front of Salem, 7-0.
That's a little bit of a shocker. So here we go. Bedford out. Morgan's got him out. Toscano in the backfield, waiting for the snap. Snap comes back this time. He fakes, looking downfield.
Lots of time.
Ready to pass. Plenty of time. Trying to get away from the Panthers. He's got to get rid of the ball. He does, and he fires it, and it's caught. I think he caught it. That's number 11.
Green.
For Bedford. Green picks up maybe 7 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say about 5 yards. You know, Morgan had a lot of time, but he took too much of it. He just waited too long, and they sent the blitzers in. 26 was right on him. That was
well, that great fake to Toscano held the lineman, and that gave him some extra time. So
yeah, Campo, and then somebody left Green open there, and Green had a lot of real estate. If he hadn't fallen down, he might have scored.
Well, the ball stops automatically when you fall down in New Hampshire. Anyways, here's the handoff to Toscano, and he gets gobbled up by a host of Nashua South defenders.
That was about a 4-yard gain, which ironically is his best run of the day. Not getting much out there, so they're doing a good job of keeping Toscano bottled up.
Yeah, if you're a defensive coordinator and you want to key on this kid, that's exactly what South is doing. Problem is they're leaving Lagulon to do his thing. So that was a quarterback keeper by Tommy Morgan. He falls forward for the first down. Gets to 13-yard line.
About the 13-yard line, correct.
So 5:02 and counting till halftime. Bedford Bulldogs 14, Nashua South nothing. Bedford is on the Nashua South 11-yard line, threatening again.
It looks like they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
Morgan brings him out to receive a set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Lagulon looks like he jumped. Yeah, I saw Harry jump.
Oh, saved by a penalty.
I think it was Harry. Anyways, yeah,
no
saved
question,
by a penalty.
No question about it. It looked like that was turnover city right there as the ball went right through.
And that would have been a perfect opportunity for Nashua to stop this momentum there, or at least threaten keep Bedford out of the end zone before the halftime. So.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody had been able to break through and pick up the loose ball, it would have been returned for a touchdown. So in a way, I mean, with the penalty, it was a lucky break there for the Bedford Bulldogs.
So Morgan breaks. Bedford comes out, 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan looks over the defense, waiting to make the call. Snap comes back. Morgan drops back to pass. Now hands off inside to Toscano. Cuts 15, 10, 5. No one's going to touch him. Touchdown. That was a great delay for Toscano with a beautiful 17-yard touchdown to put Bedford up 20-0 with 4:06 to go. Harry?
Once again, taking advantage of the way they're keying on Toscano, a really delayed handoff there. Morgan back like he was going to throw. Toscano looked like he was just in to block. And at the very last second, the ball handed it off to Toscano, and he found he had plenty of room to get to the end zone.
Lucatoni back. Kick is up, and kick is good. So Madison Lucatoni, 3 for 3. Adds 1 more to the Bedford score, and they go up 21-0 with 4:06 to go here, Stello Stadium, Mata Field, Nashua, New Hampshire. Harry, what does Nashua South have to do in the next 4 minutes before halftime?
They've got to get some points. Tom, wouldn't you say they got to get something? I mean, they had some positive plays here.
They've had some positive plays. They've got to get in the end zone. They've got to get protection for Dante Young and get him situated. I think the best thing to do for them is take 2 or 3 quick steps back and fire it and look for Frost. Frost has got to touch the ball. He's basically their speedy guy, And I think that the student body right, student body left with Pacheco is good enough to keep the ball out of Bedford's hands for a while, but not good enough to chew up a lot of yards.
Tom, do you think they need to concentrate on some shorter pass plays to give Young
That's
a
what
chance
I mean.
to?
2 or 3 step, quick 2-step drop, fire it on a slant, do those kinds of plays. They need to do that. But they also, guys, are very disorganized tonight on offense. They've had to take 2 timeouts that they really shouldn't have had to take. This is a kid, Barnett, that they like to get involved as well.
Yeah, pooch kickoff there by Bedford that was retrieved and ran back to the 33-yard line, 34, make it. So a good field start for the Panthers here with 4 minutes to play.
So Bedford defense comes out. They want to pitch a shutout in the first half. Nashua comes out. They want to put points on the scoreboard to stop this momentum, and they got 4 minutes to prove it. So we're going to see what Young, Pacheco, and the rest of the Nashua South Panthers can do here.
Well, the Bulldogs are up to 12 quarters without giving up a score. They're going to try to get it to 13 here.
Young, snap, looks far side, fires, that's over to Frost, and Frost is going to get gobbled up by a host of Bedford Bulldogs and for a loss of 3 yards. Well,
And it was a good catch, too, and it's a good thing because it was a backwards pass ever so slightly. If he hadn't made that catch there, it would have been a loose ball.
Well, Tom King called it. 2 steps, fire it off. The problem is the whole Bedford defense was there to stop him.
Now, if I can come up with it, they probably can come up with it. You know what I mean?
I like the call, though. I like it. You got to get the ball out, and he did. Anyway, so here we go. 3:26 to go till halftime. Ball's on the 32-yard line. Young waiting for the snap. This is going to hand off to Frost coming this way. He breaks a tackle and gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Actually, that was number 12, Christopher Keefe on that
was
carry.
Keefe, I'm sorry. Keefe with the carry. So that gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be third down and 10 on the 34-yard line with 2:56 to go until halftime. The problem is if they don't get a first down, they're going to give the ball back to Bedford with pretty good field position here.
Yeah, and Bedford can definitely score quickly.
So here we go. Young waiting for the snap, drops back, plenty of time, comes forward, and he falls and trips. And I don't know why they didn't blow the whistle as soon as he went down, because that's what happened. Anyways,
Sack right there. I think that was Bourgeois on the sack, although it was more of a trip and fall.
It was a trip and fall, and they should have blown the whistle right away as soon as his knee hit the ground, and they didn't. But 2:37 to go when Bedford calling timeout. Panthers are going to punt away, and Bedford's going to have good field position with plenty of time to go until halftime to try to improve on this 21-0 score here at Nashua. Stello Stadium, Mata Field, Nashua, New Hampshire. Great to be here. By the way, great booth, great light, great field view. This is my first time I've called a game here. I actually have a window that opens.
Same here.
A window that opens.
This is a luxury.
What's going on? You guys got money at Bedford. What's the matter?
Pete Johnson gives me this great venue to call from. This is unbelievable.
Bedford's got plenty of tax money, guys. I mean, come on. What's going on
Listen,
there?
next time John Collins goes on vacation, give me a call. I'd love to come down and call a game
problem.
here.
We got one tomorrow night.
And let me just say real quick, you're listening to WBNH LP Bedford 105.1. Got to get the legal ID in there once an hour, so there you go.
All right, so we got Mompini back for Bedford, and this kid, if he gets some room to run, he's got some wheels. So let's see what happens if Nashua South can cover this thing. Punt is away, almost blocked. Boy, almost ran into him, but Mompini's going to get away from it, and that's smart.
Giving up some yardage in the process.
Going to get inside the 30 down to the 31-yard line.
Actually, 26.
26 yard. You're right. Yeah. Thanks, Harry. With 2:24 to go, Bedford's going to take over on their own 26-yard line. And let's see what happens here. It's Nashua's got to come up with there is a flag. Hold on. We do have a flag. Let's see what it is. We got a personal foul against Nashua.
Ouch.
And that hurts.
Does it ever?
That hurts because that's going to now. The question's going to be, they're not going to kick it over. They're going to. It looks like they're backing it up.
They're backing it up. May not. Against
Boy,
no,
Nashua,
it's
so
not.
Why are they backing it up?
Why are they backing it up? That's a good
Oh,
question.
I think they're just going back to the huddle.
They're going back.
Yeah, they were moving back as though the
They
penalty
were
was
moving
against
it
them.
back, so now they're moving it forward. There we go.
Yeah.
That was a little confusing.
Well, it's officiating. It's high school officiating in New Hampshire. It's always confusing in football.
You never know what you're going to. I'm telling you, it's a Yankee-Red Sox game. They all want to get out of here.
We've got an update from Londonderry. The Lancers leading 14-6 against Winnicott.
Wow.
I believe that is still in the first quarter.
I love that score.
Interesting.
All right, Morgan, ready to get this thing rolling for Bedford. Hands off to Toscano, far side, cuts up 50, pushes the Bedford, gets down to about the 41-yard line. Great pickup for Ryan Toscano.
Yeah, great burst of speed right there. Once he got the ball from Morgan, he was able to find a seam to his left side and just turned on the Jets and picked up about 20 yards there.
Bedford coming out with a quick play. They're ready to run this thing. For 2 receiver set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass, and he's going to be gobbled up and brought down. It was a nice takedown. 56 and 26.
56 is
Flory.
Yep, and 26 is Campo. And I think they came in on the blitz and just swallowed up Morgan right there. No time at all to let that play develop. So big defensive stop there, at least on the sack. And we're going to get a timeout here.
Yeah, Bedford called that timeout just to regroup here because the clock's working against them. But that was a great defensive stop for Nashua, and they needed that.
Well, you know, Coach Stank has the option of just going for 3 here, just as long as they can get to within Maddie's field goal range. I'll say to inside the 20-yard line. Then it's they have a chance at adding 3 points here.
Maddie Lugatoni, get her within range. She's going to kick away. Another thing I want to compliment the Nashua people who they got these beautiful homemade cookies that they're passing out to the staff.
Yeah, this is like the pros. They actually feed us here.
We definitely don't get that at Bedford, so you know they're really working.
We're gonna have a word with Corey Parker. We get cookies here, and really good ones. Oatmeal raisin, I believe.
So Morgan ready for the snap. Toscano in the backfield, man in motion. This is Montpini. It's a double reverse.
And a fumble.
Dropped it. So it was a double reverse, and Harry Lagoulon dropped it, and Nashua picks up. Boy, that is a big turnover for Nashua with 1:50 to go until halftime.
Nate Tejada with the recovery there. Nate on the spot to pick up the loose ball.
Kind of a I don't want to call it a mental mistake, but a big mistake on Bedford's part because now Nashua has some life with just under 2 minutes to go. In Bedford territory, ball is on the 43, 44-yard line.
The scoreboard shows 1 timeout remaining for Nashua. We thought they had burned through all of them, but maybe not. So we'll see what happens.
They were really disorganized down there.
So handoff to Pacheco, and he gets maybe 2 yards as he falls forward, and the clock ticks.
They're going to need to go to the air here.
Hey, this could be a victory just stopping Bedford from getting one last shot before halftime. So call that a moral victory if that's what happens. But Nashua has a chance to add some points, and that would really sting for Bedford. It would be a huge boost for the Nashua South Panthers here. So anyways, Young bringing the team out. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Man in motion. Young waiting for the snap. Fires near side. That's number 12. That's a caught for Keefe, and he's brought down with a nice tackle down
no
there.
gain.
Toscano and Montpini.
They were not fooled by that wide receiver screen. They sniffed it out and were able to just bottle it up. And now we're looking at 3rd and 8 with under a minute to play.
Yeah, and Nashua might be content with letting this clock tick away.
They never have been before. I've never seen a high school team let the clock tick out. Much to their demise in some respects.
So here's another receiver kind of motion coming this way. Young back, fires this way, hits number 4, and he's got a nice block.
Oh, he got hit hard.
Got hit, but he got a first down on that one. That was a nice pickup.
That was Zach Guerin that laid the lick on him.
Barnett with the catch and nice nifty runs, and they moved the stick. So
and the clock stops, and they use the timeout.
Just used their last timeout. So.
Got a girls soccer score here, an update with 15 minutes left to play. The Bedford girls also taking on the Panthers. They have a 1-0 lead.
And the update last night, much to my chagrin, my daughter plays for the Bedford Bulldogs volleyball team, and they took it on the chin by Nashua South, which has a very good volleyball team.
Very good team this year. The only question that you have, how would they fare against Hollis Brookline?
Which they don't play this year.
And we don't know because they do not
know.
play them.
Well, let me tell you, I've seen a lot of those girls over the years playing Hard Rock volleyball that my daughter played, and a lot of those girls were on that Nashua South team. They got this setter, I don't know her name, but she got her 1,000th assist last night in the game. They stopped the game, and we all applaud that because that's a milestone. Great job for them. That's a great team, and we hope we don't see them again in the playoffs. Let me just say that. But good job for Nashua South volleyball team, giving Bedford their only second loss of the season. So, anyways, here we go. Young back to receive the snap, and they got some dipsy-do. They're coming back, and they're trying to throw. That's going to be an incomplete pass. So
yeah, I was going to say.
That was a handoff to Pacheco, another handoff to Frost. Frost was going to throw it downfield, and his arm got hit, and that was an incomplete. So that's going to bring up.
That was one of those. That was one of those calls that official could call it either way. They could have called that a fumble because of the way his hand was hit. But
well, up here in our neck of the woods, they call it the tuck rule sometimes, and I know people from all over the country don't want to hear that. But
no, I think it was an incomplete pass. I think that's the right way to call it.
Anyways, okay, Young back to pass. He's looking to throw. Quick one out this way to Barnett.
Finds it to Barrett.
And he was tackled, then let go, and then brought down again. That's Barrett, yeah.
Loss of yards there. Lost about 3 yards with 12 seconds to play. Tom, I was going to ask you, who do they have as a kicker on the Panthers, and how effective would they be as far as field goal range?
Not that effective. Not this year. Haven't seen really. They've got Matt Kiesling, who's a kicker. But I haven't seen them boot anything long other than extra points. I haven't seen them try to field goal at all. North got one on them last week.
Well, they have 12 seconds and 2 downs to go here, so let's see what they try to do.
All right, man in motion. Young waiting for the snap. Comes back. Plenty of time. Hit one. Stays on his feet.
Yeah, he's got some room.
He
running
stayed on his feet. Goes far side. Tucks it. Gets to the 30. Trying to get out of bounds. And I don't think does he get out of bounds?
They stopped the clock with 2 seconds.
He did a nice job to get out of bounds because he was running for his life over there. And he got hit in the backfield. He got hip checked and kept on his feet and kept running far side. So.
And Andrew Twite was waving to the official like he wanted a holding call on that play.
Maybe he did, but the official didn't see it. And the yellow flag stayed in the pocket. So let's set this thing up. 2 seconds to go. Bedford leading 21-0. Ball's on the 27-yard line. This is probably a do-or-die end zone pass for Nashua. They want to get points on the board.
Not that it matters, but it's 4th down. The scoreboard says third.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. With 2 seconds on the scoreboard here, this is going to be the last play before halftime. And Young is back, and we have a timeout. And it looks like delay a game.
Oh, come
Nashua.
on, really?
Wow, talk about it. The worst time. Big ouch. So that's going to tick off 5 more yards. That's going to make it just a little bit more difficult. As it was on the 34-yard line. They're going to tick this thing back to now that looks like the 39.
How much of an arm does Dante Young have? How much does his 5-yard penalty set him back?
He could get it down there. His arm's not bad, but he won't have the time. They'll be right on him.
Yeah, he needs protection. We'll see what happens. So here's the play. 2 receivers set, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Jacob in the backfield, plenty of time, fires far side, and that's incomplete, and that's going to wrap up the first half here at Stellos Stadium, Mata Field. Halftime score, Bedford 21, Nashua South nothing. Stay tuned for our halftime show. Looks like we got 2 bands coming up. We got the Bedford Bulldog stand, and we got the Nashua band and the Nashua South band coming up, so a lot of entertainment for halftime. Stay tuned. We'll catch you guys in a second.
We've got a little bit of time here to give you a quick update on some scores. Exeter leads Spalding 21-0. They're in the first half. Wyndham with a 7-0 lead over Salem in Salem. That's also in the first quarter. And Londonderry in the second quarter with a 14-6 lead over the Winnicott Warriors. Quick recap here on the scoring drives. All Bedford so far, 21-0. Your score in the first quarter on the first possession. It was a 10-yard run. Actually, I'm sorry, a 10-yard pass from Morgan to Harry Lagulon. That made it 7-0, followed up by a Lagulon 20-yard run, and with 4:02 left in the first period, that put it to 14-0. And then with 4:06 remaining in the second quarter, it was a 17-yard run up the middle by Ryan Toscano, and the extra points by Matty Lucantoni, perfect each time. So that's where we stand, 21-0, and the shutout streak extended to 13 quarters.
Hi, my name is Brooke. I'm the founder of National Concussion Awareness Day. When I was a freshman in high school, I suffered a concussion. Most concussions resolve in 7 to 10 days, but mine didn't. For months, I suffered from post-concussion syndrome, which affected my academics, activities, and social life. Sports-related concussions account for 53% of all head injuries in young people under the age of 19. The CDC estimates that 3.8 million concussions happen each year, but as many as half go undiagnosed. If you've had an impact to your head, symptoms may start hours or days later. Watch for headache, nausea or vomiting, balance problems, dizziness, blurry or double vision, sensitivity to light or noise, feeling sluggish or foggy, confusion, concentration, or memory problems. If you think you've had a concussion, don't hide it. Report it to your parents, coach, and doctor, and take the time to recover. Remember, it's better to miss one game than the whole season. Did you know that one concussion, you're 1 to 2 times more likely to have a second concussion? And if you've had 2 concussions, you're 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a third concussion. All concussions should be taken seriously. This message was brought to you by LessonTheImpact.org. Lessen the Impact is a nonprofit organization bringing free concussion education to school programs, clubs, and civic organizations to New Hampshire. For more information or to book a concussion presentation for your school, go to www.lessontheimpact.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard as they take the field with this year's halftime show, Music of Journey. Under the direction of Kelsey Gaudette, Assistant Director Laura Heinrichs, and Color Guard Instructor Jennifer McCormick. The drum majors are Nick Aiello, Ryan McCarthy, and Daniel Dong. The drumline captain is Tigo Kotsinyan, and the color guard captains are Peyton Granger and Megan Scott. Our feature twirler tonight is Chloe Zanoy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Bedford High School Marching Band and Color Guard. Now entering the field is the Nashua High School South Purple Panther Marching Band. The Panthers are under the direction of drum majors Ben Talerski, Alanya Talerski, and Delaney Nelson. Assistant directors are Natalie Spots and Thomas Sousa. The percussion instructor is Charles Davis, assisted by Tim Morrow and Molly Plasted. The band director and drill designer for the Nashua South Band is Tony Coronis. The Nashua South Purple Panthers fall show theme is Superheroes. They will be performing the theme from the movie Batman, Iron Man by Black Sabbath, and the Captain America March. Please give a warm welcome to the Nashua South Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Nashua High School South Purple Panther Marching Band.
People look at you. They stare. They all stare. They point at you. They shout things. They make you feel different. It's fantastic.
And here we are back on the air on Nashua TV, BC TV, and WBNH LP Bedford 105.1. Our score is 21-0. Bedford in the lead. 2 touchdowns by Harry Lagulan in the first quarter, and then a 17-yard run for touchdown by Ryan Toscano in the second put us where we are now. And a couple of stats thanks to New Hampshire High School Sports.com. Bedford with 91 yards of offense in the first, and Nashua South with 60 yards. The average drive start for the Bulldogs was on the Panther 47-yard line, and they have a 3-1 lead in turnovers in the game so far. And a quick girls soccer note, Nashua South was able to tie the game with under 6 minutes to play, and they're now in overtime. I believe they're playing up in Bedford.
South
for that
Bedford.
game.
I covered that girls soccer quarterfinal last year on a Monday afternoon, a very chilly Monday afternoon in Bedford. The whole idea to stop South is to stop their big scorer, Angie Swaza. And I wondered if she scored that one goal that they got because she is on a stretch of 7 goals in the last 3 games. So, yeah, she's going to Providence next year. Yeah.
So let's give you a quick recap of some of the scores around the league. Exeter last report was 21-0 over Spalding. Dover with a 14-0 lead over Portsmouth. Concord 21-7 over Manchester Memorial, but the Memorial touchdown came on a pick 6, long pick 6. So there you go.
Concord's a very interesting team because schedule is in their favor until they have a couple of tough ones at the end. I believe it's Merrimack and North at the end of the season. So that they could come back to earth with those 2 games. It all depends on how far they progress. It's awfully tough to play teams that really don't belong in the league and then have to play a couple of teams that really do belong in the league. You know, it's very tough to make that adjustment. South found that out because they scored 60 on Keene on the road.
Right.
And then they play Merrimack and they get shut out.
Continuing on here at Gill Stadium, the Little Green of Manchester, a 99-yard, 9-yard drive, a 9-play, 99-yard drive, capped off with a manana run for 12 yards. That put them up 6-0, but then Goffstown answered right back, so they're up right before halftime, 7-6.
Well, Central's still smarting from that 45-zip shellacking they got from Bedford last week in Bedford.
Well, that opened up a lot of eyes. How did that happen?
I was surprised, very surprised at that, Tom.
They're very good. Central's a very good football team. Holcomb is a Division II, I think, quarterback.
Not only that's a good team. It's coached well under Ryan Ray.
Yeah.
And they got some athletes in that team. Bedford just everything was clicking for Bedford. So that
did
was
everything right.
Yeah.
And tonight, I think it'd be fair to say everything's not exactly clicking for Bedford, but they're playing a team that can't get on track offensively.
That's true.
And that's the big key.
And that showed at the end of the first half because that turnover in Bedford gave Nashua South an opportunity to put some points on the board, and they just couldn't do anything with it.
I got 2 more scores for you. Salem has come back. They answered Wyndham. They're trailing now 10-7 just before the half. Wyndham had by 3 in that game. And in Londonderry, a good one there, and I would call this a mild upset, 24-14 at the half. Lancers ahead of Winnicott.
That's it.
And I've got a score for you. As a Yankee fan, I'm a little disappointed. J.D. Martinez has hit a 3-run homer, and it's 3-0 for the Red Sox.
Well, we'll take that.
In the first
That
inning.
didn't take long.
No.
Yeah, but, listen, this is a long series. I wouldn't count anybody out of that because they can hit a ton of home runs really fast, both teams. So, all right, so Bedford's going to be kicking this thing off. And, again, a small little kick far
it's
side,
loose.
and that's going to go out of bounds. But I think it was hit by a Nashua South player, so no penalty. And Nashua will take over on their 30-yard line.
Yeah, Keith and Kyle Salem collided at about the 30-yard line, and fortunately the ball hit them and went out of bounds, because this happens a lot on Bedford kickoffs. They do that mid-range pooch kick, and it kind of lands in a seam, and sometimes the players, they're not sure who's going to make the play on it. In the meantime, the Bedford special teamers are barreling down for the ball.
And that helps.
So now Young brings out his squad with Pacheco in the backfield, waiting for the direct snap. This is going to come end around and gobbled up and gets nowhere. That was number 12, Keith.
And Lagulon wrapped
Lagulon
him
right
up.
there to stop Keith on the. They've got that play sniffed out. You need one more block and a quicker cut by Keith to be able to avoid the linebacker Lagulon, who's right there to make the play.
Who's big and strong, so Harry stopping that one for Bedford.
About a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
So second half just underway. Young waiting for the snap. Comes back. Pacheco handoff, and he's gobbled up and trying to get some positive. Yeah, he's going to be dropped for a 2-yard loss.
And Lagulon there again, making the initial hit, slowing him down.
13 straight quarters, right, Harry?
Yep, 13 straight without giving up a point.
All first teamers, or have they shuttled in the second unit late in the game?
Yeah, I think the backups are getting some time later
So
on.
getting some significant time.
So I'm
actually.
wondering if that'll hold tonight, because South's first team unit is going to have trouble unless they can fire the ball downfield. And I'd look for Frost or Campo 26 to maybe make a big play for them.
Young back, fires far side, and in and out of the hands for an incomplete. That should have been caught, but it would have been caught for a big game because it was right at the line of scrimmage.
And that was Campo on the attempted reception.
It was a low pass that it actually went off his knee.
Yeah.
It didn't really even hit him in the chest. It hit his knee and just bounced away.
Yeah. So 4th down. South is kicking away. Montpini back. 10:14 to go in the third quarter. We're just underway here at Stello Stadium, Field in Nashua. Punt is away. It's a high kick. It's not a deep kick, but it's going to be fair caught by Montpini, and it's going to be inside Nashua territory, about the 46-yard line. Bedford will take over, going from our right to left here on a very cool night. Good football night. Good football
Yeah,
weather.
It's in the low 50s.
Football,
Yeah.
First real football night that we've
it's in the air, and the people that are here, it's a beautiful night here in Nashua, so the fans are enjoying it. We're enjoying it here.
And this is a heated press box, by the way. It does have heat.
But we have the windows wide open,
Yes,
so
I
that doesn't
noticed
matter.
that.
We're just letting the heat out.
It did not go unnoticed, believe me.
So Morgan brings out Bedford with Toscano in the backfield. He drops back to pass, looking downfield, fires downfield. He's got a step, and that's going to be in and out of the hands. Boy, that would have been a great catch, but in and out of the hands of who is it? That's Green, number 11.
Yeah,
for
got to
Bedford,
make that
so
play. It was right there.
Morgan put it right there.
Yeah,
I mean, they
nice
couldn't have
pass.
made a better throw.
Yeah.
He's got a good arm.
Now, there was a defender right with him. Let's not say he was undefended, but you got to catch that if it's going to be thrown and hit your hands like that.
But, it's still the ball was where it needed to be caught, and he couldn't wrap it up.
It was only where the receiver could catch it, which is where you want the quarterback to throw it.
So Morgan fires far side. That's complete. Cut back. Gets up to the 45, into the 42-yard line.
Jack Jones on the reception.
Jones on the reception. No, they say that was Donahue, actually, 17. 17 for Bedford. That was Donahue with the catch.
I've got to get an updated roster.
So
3rd and 7 from the 43.
So Morgan comes out, 2 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap.
I'd say look at the top of your screen and see if
back,
he goes in that direction.
Fires downfield
He does.
deep. Another nice in stride and just on the outreach. That was a nice pass again, and that was for Donahue, but that was just a
off his fingertips.
You know what? Donahue slowed down, and I don't know why. I don't think he picked the ball up right away, and he slowed down. If he had stayed in stride, that's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. So anyway, so Bedford's got to go 3 and out to start the third quarter here. 9:14 to go. They're going to punt it away to Nashua South. Deep for South, I believe that is number 11, Frost. And
That was kind of a shank kick there.
so that's going to be down at the 20-yard line where Nashua South's going to take over, going from our left to right. 9:05 to go with Bedford leading 21-0 here in Nashua.
Well, we'll see if South can get anything going and try to get Campo or Barnett or Frost in space. But the problem is once they reach space, there's not enough time for Dante Young to throw the ball.
Yeah, he's been under a lot of pressure. He's had some time, but still the Bedford pressure has been dogging him all night. So here we go. Nashua comes out. Young comes out. Man in motion. This is going to be handed a motion man up the middle. Cuts. Nice cut back. Gets about 3 or 4 yards. Campo with a nice run. Picks up about 6 yards.
Good play. He was able to find the seam in that in the front. Put on 6 yards. Good start there. And now they've got 2nd and 4. Very manageable.
Yeah, we talked about them moving the sticks. They did it for one drive early in the game. They got deep into Bedford territory, and then they were stopped on down. So they need to move the sticks if they're going to do something here tonight. Double reverse fake, and he's going to
fooled no one.
Pacheco's going to go down. He's going to lose a yard.
And it almost looked like they were going to go with the same play. And again, Bedford's defense stays home. Pacheco, they're not able to get him on track. If you can't get him on track, that's bad for Nashua South. So no gain on that play. A lot of moving around for nothing.
So Coach Dank has these defenders for Bedford well honed because they aren't digging on the fakes, and they're staying home and making the plays. Anyways, Young ready. This looks like a motion, not called. Pacheco falls forward for maybe 2 yards, and that's going to bring up 4th down, so they're going to have to kick it away.
I always think that if you don't have an offensive line with enough seasoned experience to protect your quarterback, it's going to be tough for them to dominate the line of scrimmage so you can have a sustained drive of chewing up clock and things like that. But now that strategy's out the window for South. They need points. They're down by 3 touchdowns with basically a quarter and a half to go.
All right, back to punt. Kicked away. Nice booming kick this time, and that's going to go far side. It's going to take a Nashua bounce, and they're going to get it inside the Bedford, probably about the 46-yard line, where Bedford's going to take over.
Surprised Mapini didn't run up and catch that. He ran longer to catch the other one. He ran about 25 yards up the field to make the fair catch on the previous punt. That one he didn't have to run as far, but he stayed away.
Well, they're still getting good field position. As I mentioned at the half, their average drive start was on the Panther 47-yard line. The last 2 drive starts were at the 46 of the Panthers and the 46-yard line of the Bulldogs.
And, of course, that average drive start helped by 3 Nashua fumbles.
So Bedford out, 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan waiting for the snap with Toscano in the backfield. Hands off to Toscano up the middle and nowhere. He's being dragged down. That's number 68 for...
They have done
Arneson.
Defensively, Arneson's a very, very good player.
Yeah.
Defensively, they have done a very good job on Toscano. They've really taken him out of the game except for that touchdown.
Yeah. No, the game plan was to stop Toscano. They've accomplished that so far tonight, pretty much. But anyway, 6:38 to go. Bedford 2nd down. This is going to go to Toscano, and again, gobbled up. He's not getting nothing. So.
No, maybe a yard. See where they spot it.
No, it's not even that.
Wow.
3rd down and 10, 6:22 to go here.
Charlie Collins there with the stop for the Panthers.
So Bedford now is going to try to move the sticks here, but so far the Purple Panthers have been doing a good job stopping Toscano here. All right, so Morgan waiting for the snap. Toscano in the backfield. Back to pass. Looks under pressure. Now comes this way. Still under pressure. Looking downfield. Trying to
throw
scramble
that ball away.
Under pressure, fires.
Got a man
far
wide
side.
open, and he
Oh,
dropped it.
Dropped it, and that was number 11
That was
for
Green.
Bedford. That was Green, yeah.
Green looked to run before he caught
yeah,
it.
He turned. A classic wide receiver.
Yes.
Hearing footsteps, my old coach used to say to me,
I don't think it was so much the footsteps. I think he wanted to see where he was in relation to the sticks.
And he was only about 4 or
5
5 yards away.
about 5 yards
he
away.
could have made it. He had enough
He had
room.
a first down if he caught that ball,
Yeah.
probably.
So anyways, Bedford's going to kick this one away to Nashua South. Let's see what Nashua can do in their next
I'll tell you what, Nashua South, they had turnover problems against North. That cost them a game, and the turnovers right now are the difference in this game. I really feel turnovers set up two Bedford touchdowns.
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right.
That was Tanner Plord on the punt reception, and he really ran up to meet the ball. Kind of a risky play there.
And that Plord, you see the difference. Well, you don't see it because you weren't here last week, but you see the difference I do defensively in South because Plord is in the game. And last week he didn't play. So you take the kickoff return and the 2 fumbles, take away those 3 plays.
We're in a tight game.
And you're in a game.
Yeah,
you
we're in
know,
a real tight game.
Right.
So 5:42 to go. Nashua takes possession, going from our left to right. Man in motion for Nashua. And
Frost.
Frost coming up, cuts back with a nice gain. Gets about 5 or 6 yards.
Frost is their best potential big play guy. He is very, very good. He caught a deep ball for a touchdown last week against Nashua South. He's got speed. He's got agility. He makes you miss. And on that play, he gets you 6 yards.
2 good weapons out there with Pacheco and Frost, so they're mixing it up pretty good in this drive. 5:11 to go, clock ticking in the third quarter.
Pacheco's going to get this.
So Pacheco on a
Good
cutback, you're
call.
absolutely right. Yeah, and he falls forward close to the first down, but he's going to come up on a yard short.
They try to misdirect Keefe and thinking he's going to get the handoff, and then the quick one to Pacheco. It bought him some time. It bought him some yards. He's still short by about 2 yards. Third and about 2.
With those pink sleeves and socks, can we call Pacheco the Pink Panther?
They're very good, but they obviously it's
Harry.
October and it's breast cancer month, so there's a few pink sleeves out there, pink shoes, pink socks.
I see it, and I love it. I
Yep.
think it's great. All right, so here we go. Man in motion. Young waiting for the snap. Snap. Pacheco, left-hand side. He's going to fall forward. That's going to be a real close one. I'm not sure he got the
No,
mark.
I don't think it's going to be that close, Mike. I
No.
think he got caught right just beyond the 40.
Yeah,
he didn't get
that's
close
short.
to getting out to the 42, which is where he needed to be.
So what do you do here? Do you go for it?
I'm not sure.
You know, the way their defense is playing, but the time is of the essence. Yeah, you know what? I do. You've got basically add the time. So you've got yourself 15 and a half minutes to play in this football game. You're down 3 scores. You've got the ball. I think you need to keep the ball. I think you need a first down and no punt.
So gutsy call here, and I'm hearing my buddy here, Tom, making the call, and that's exactly what Nashua was going to do.
But they're in a shotgun.
So it's going to, oh, wow, handoff to Pacheco. He got buried in
There's
the
a
backfield.
flag down, though.
Yeah, see.
That might have been Bedford jumping, possibly. Where's the flag?
Is there a flag?
I saw one fly in there.
Harry
It's
sees
on the ground.
flag. There's one on the ground.
Okay.
See what we got. We have holding, face, looks like a face mask
On Bedford.
against Bedford. So that's going to move the sticks for Nashua in a positive direction.
But I've got to ask, Tom, you need half a yard. What are you doing in a shotgun?
No, you've got to be right over center and move the ball and push it ahead. And
Yeah, I don't get that.
They didn't do that. They didn't do that on a play earlier in the game too, where they had a yard to go, if that, and the quarterback is looking over for the play. Line up under center and sneak it over and get it done. And
Yeah.
that's why I said they've been very disorganized. There's no reason to have to call a fancy play on that situation.
So on that penalty, moves the sticks into Bedford territory for a first down.
10-yard penalty, it looked like.
Handoff up the middle, 26 coming this
Campo.
way. Campo, nice pickup, 7-yard gain. So Nashua South has some momentum now after that penalty.
Got to take advantage of it. Because it looked like you were going to give the ball to Bedford in good field position for the 3rd straight series. What are the chances of keeping them out of the end zone with only half a field to go 3 times in a row. So, and all of a sudden now you get to keep the football.
This has been kind of a bugaboo with the Bedford teams. As dominant as they have been, there have been times when they've had penalties to give extended plays to the opposition.
Young back to throw.
Oh,
He's being collared and brought down. The ball's on the ground. They didn't blow the whistle yet. Now they blew the whistle. Bedford on the turnover. Big
Toscano with the fumble recovery. But you know what? That whistle should have blown.
I believe you're absolutely right.
And did you catch it wasn't quite a face mask, but I think he had
almost a horse collar.
I thought he had a horse collar.
Horse collar,
yeah.
or he had a hold of his helmet somewhere, and I think that hurt.
And Young's coming out. He's coming out little gingerly.
That was
here.
a dangerous play. I don't know if that was Toscano who reached in there, but whoever the Bedford defender that brought him down, the officials I would have thrown a flag there.
Yeah, I would have too.
So it looks like the trainer's going to look at Young over here on the sidelines for South. So we'll keep an eye on that next South possession. Anyway, so Bedford's out, 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Montpini in motion, handoff to Montpini, far side, cuts up field, makes a good block, and then dragged down and thrown out of bounds with about a 3-yard gain. He ran more east and west than north and south for a 3-yard gain.
That was Frost. He ragdolled him on that tackle.
So,
but 4 fumbles tonight for Nashua South, correct? 4?
3.
3.
Oh no, 4. No, you're right. 4 with
4.
that one.
Right.
So Bedford comes out. Morgan brings him out. Looks like Lagula on tight end. 2 receivers set, 2 to the left. Man in motion. This is Montpini. Hands to Montpini. Coming near side. Cuts up field. Big hole. Gets
First down.
to the 35-yard line before being dragged down for a Bedford first down.
Getting back to that last fumble, don't you find a lot of times with officials when you're being pulled backwards and you lose the ball, they usually call forward progress?
They usually stop the play right away. I was very surprised
agree.
they didn't do it. Very surprised there.
They're trying to protect the quarterbacks at all levels.
Yeah.
And they didn't do a good job there.
No, he didn't.
So Bedford 2 backs now in the backfield with Morgan. This is hands off to Lagula on far side. Turns
He's
up,
got
cuts
a lot
the
of
corner.
space.
Gets to over the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. It's Harry Lagula for a nice pickup of about 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, he got the corner. Didn't quite have the jet speed to zip up down the field, but he rumbled his way and
still a nice pickup for
used
Bedford.
the most space he could and get 8 yards, 7 yards.
1:45 to go in the third quarter. Bedford leading Nashua South 21-0, going from our left to right. Morgan brings him out with Toscano in the backfield. Morgan back to pass. Fakes, comes back with a screen to Toscano. 20,
He's
15,
in.
10,
See
5, touchdown.
Everybody was engaged.
Did he get him in? No, there's a flag down. We got an official has a flag down about the 9-yard line.
Might be a block in the back.
Let's see what happens. So looks like that's gonna be coming back if Tom King is right.
Usually if there's
we have a block in the back against Bedford.
Yep.
Good call, Tom King on top of it.
Usually if there's a penalty on the sideline where the runner was, that's going to be an illegal block.
So that successful screen pass now comes back.
And boy, did they reel in those purple fish on that play. They let the 3 rushers in.
Sure did.
And just left Toscano wide open with a wall of blockers.
Screen, and Toscano came kind of in the middle. He wasn't in the flat, and that's what kind of confused Nashua's defense. So the ball's now at the 20. So it's 1st and 10 at the 19.
So ball is set. Now we got an official blowing it dead. Got a flag down.
Offsides call on South?
It's against South.
Yeah, it has to be because no one moved at Bedford's end, so they lined up offsides.
So South gives Bedford a freebie of 5 yards. That's never good when you're inside your red zone.
No, it isn't.
At the half, we've got an update. Wyndham 17-7. They just added a touchdown with 2 seconds remaining in the half.
Wyndham's the real deal. So here we go. Morgan brings him out. Toscano in the backfield. Morgan back to pass. Plenty of protection. Looks downfield. Fires downfield.
Wide open.
Wide open. Oh! Should have been picked.
Guess what?
Was it a well-thrown ball?
He was so wide open. He didn't throw it well, and that's right into the arms of a South defender.
Jake McDevitt.
And he should have picked that off, and he dropped it.
He had eyes as wide as saucers. Couldn't pull it in.
So he's going to want to get that one back in his dreams. Both of them. So Morgan.
Well, if you're the receiver on that play, you've got to sense that the ball's underthrown and go up and fight for that ball.
He was already on the ground.
Yeah, he was already falling back.
He's got to get up and fight for that ball.
All right, Mumpini coming this way, handoff to Mumpini, gets a couple yards, and then the Panthers are trying to drag him down, but he falls forward for
Looks
another
like he got the spot.
3 yards.
Yeah,
so
he may get that first down, Harry.
let's see.
Wrestled down by a host of Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to drop the markers on the sideline. That's a first and goal for Bedford with 1:05 to go and counting here at Stello Stadium, Mata Field in Nashua. Bedford leading 21-0, ready to try to put more points on the board against Nashua South. Morgan waiting for the snap, gives it to Morgan holds
Keeps
on
it for
to
himself.
and he gets down, and he's dragged down to about the 2-yard line before he goes down.
Yeah, he faked the handoff to Toscano, who drew the defenders, and then Morgan went to his left.
Nice play by Pacheco and Campo. Campo met him and didn't get fooled. It looked like Morgan had enough momentum to carry himself into the end zone, and he couldn't quite get past Campo.
So 22 seconds and counting. Bedford's going to get off another play before we switch ends of the field. It's second and goal. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap comes down this time. He does the same thing and does it, and then pitches it off to Sanchez for the touchdown. Wow, that was a great play. He was almost in the grasp, and then flicks it over to Sanchez for the touchdown.
Call that a
for
forward
Bedford.
pass? Must have been, right?
Had to be,
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure. It looked, when he did that, I thought he was over the line of scrimmage.
Oh, he was very close, Harry.
No, they
We'll
didn't.
have to go and look at
They
the
let it go.
replays on that. So, anyways, here we go for Maddie in for the extra point, and she drills it through again with plenty of legs. So, Luca Toni adds another point, and Bedford increases their lead to 28-0 over the Nashua South Panthers with 4 seconds to go in the third quarter. I can't wait to see that on replay, Harry, because that was a pretty interesting play. And good sense of Tom Morgan, too. He was almost in the grasp, and he just flicked it over to Sanchez. Sanchez wide open for the touchdown.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like a pass. It was more like a jump shot.
Yeah.
He just kind of used his fingertips to just kind of roll the ball to Sanchez. And he did it while he had 3 Panthers on him.
Yeah.
Because they probably thought they'd sniffed out the play, that, the fake to Toscano.
It was the exact same play they ran the play before, that Morgan got a few positive yards, and I thought South sniffed it out until Morgan just flipped the ball into Sanchez. So
Down at Fenway, it's still 3-0 with the Yanks up the bat, top of third.
still early in that game. I'm not comfortable until it's a 9th inning and we're up a dozen runs against the Yankees because they're so strong. Anyway, so with 4 seconds to go in the third quarter, Bedford leading 28-0. We're going to be kicking off to South. And again, they've got some small pooch kicks down there. They don't want to get it down to a number 11 Frost because it looks like he could break it open, so not even giving him an attempt to get the ball. So,
yeah, Coach Stank doesn't seem to mind giving the other team field position around the 30, 35-yard line.
as opposed to giving him a big play on a kickoff. So that is going to wind the clock down in the third quarter here at Stello Stadium, Mata Field. Bedford 28, South nothing.
Got a Seacoast score. Dover up on Portsmouth, 35-0.
Thank you very much.
Dover on Portsmouth. Okay, yeah. 35-0.
Got some other scores to pass along as well, and some of these haven't been updated in some time. In the last report, we had Exeter 21-0 over Spalding. As you just said, Dover with a 35-0 lead over the Clippers in Portsmouth. Or actually, they're in Dover. Concord and Manchester Memorial, last report 21-7 for the Tide. Central trailing Goffstown at the half 7-6. Salem trailing Wyndham 17-7 in Salem. And our last report 24-14 Londonderry over Winnicott. And the overtime girls soccer game have not had an update on that yet.
All right, we'll get that. We'll get to everybody pretty soon here. So Nashua ETV, Bedford BC TV, and Bedford 105.1 Radio. You're not having audio problems. I am filling in for John Collins. I'm Mike Robinson, along with Tom King and Harry Kozlowski.
It's an upgrade.
And it's been a great time to be down here with you guys.
Poor John. I give him so much grief.
I hope he's watching. He does a nice job. I've seen a couple of his broadcasts. So pick up for Nashua.
John and I have worked together. Radio and then into TV for over three decades.
Nice. That's great. That's great.
So that was Frost with a carry for 7 yards on first down.
So I think, I don't want to say anything like something obvious, but if Nashua needs to do something, they've got to do it now. They've got to do something, and just to get points on the board will be a victory for this program today for the kids. Maybe further. So here we go. So handoff coming this way up to the 40. Campo 35. Campo's had some good pickups,
but no break-ins.
Yeah.
No one could break into the secondary and be off to the races with this Bedford defense. They're very disciplined. They stay at home. And that's the big thing. They cover the angles and they stay at home. I'm very impressed with their fundamentals.
You got to remember, Coach Stank, defensive end up at UNH for 4 years.
Yep.
So he brings that pedigree down to the Bedford program, and it's a very solid defensive team out there. And you're seeing it tonight. A lot of discipline for Bedford. Okay, so Young hit the Pacheco, and immediately he's wrapped up for maybe a yard.
Well,
And
it's a new quarterback for Nashua South. It's Michael
Who do we got?
Rustine, a freshman.
Rustine.
Remember, Young was a little bit shaken up after that play.
So that tackle, by the way, was Sanchez, Solomon, and Twite all teaming up there.
For no gain or maybe a yard loss. Yeah, I'll call it no gain.
So Rustine.
No, he lost a yard. Lost a yard. So it would be second down and 11 at the 47-yard line.
Rustine waiting for the caught in the backfield and dragged down.
Yeah,
nice play. And that's Toscano.
Campo tried to turn the corner, took a step back, and Toscano would have none of that. He pulled him down for a loss.
Well, again, it's not just on passing plays. You see the opposing defense has been in South's backfield now 3 weeks in a row, and that's another classic example of it on a 6-yard loss. 3rd and 17 from the 41.
10-10 to go in the game. And Rustine in for Young. I'm not sure we're going to see Young for the rest of the game. Talked about, he's got his helmet off over there, so nothing here. So Rustine scrambling, fires down. That's going back to the maybe going back to the house, and that's Guerin with the pickoff.
And that was a good touchdown saving tackle right there by the quarterback.
That was Pacheco.
Oh, Pacheco.
So Guerin with the pick for Bedford, runs it down inside the Nashua South 20-yard line, gets down to about the 17 before he's dragged down. 16-yard line.
Where?
Let me see here where they got the mark. Maybe it's 15. They haven't put the ball down yet, but great pick by Guerin. Rustine under some pressure, threw the ball up, and Guerin picked it off and almost to the end zone, but dragged down.
Eagle eye, Bill Jennings here pointed out that penalty flag. You didn't see that one.
It's against Nashua South. Probably hit after he was out of bounds. Not sure.
No, it's called a legal procedure.
So it declined completely. So 1st and 10 at the 15, which is what you're going to see. You're going to see a legal procedure when you have a freshman in there at quarterback who hasn't played much this year. A lot of times they'll put Keefe in there. He was a backup quarterback a year ago, or like 3rd string as a freshman.
So Morgan out, Toscano in the backfield. Hands off to Toscano, far side, cuts up, gets inside the 10 to the 5 and dragged down.
Yeah, just a lot of quickness on Toscano's part as he darts. He darted on that run. Just shifted his body inside the line and past everybody. He's very, very quick, which is why he's so good on defense. His quickness and his instincts. You can tell.
He's strong.
Football instincts. 1st and goal from the 5.
So Morgan, bad snap. Toscano picks it up and gets dragged down to about this 2-yard line. That was on the ground when he picked it up.
Quick reaction there by Toscano.
Quick reaction, scooped it up. If if he could have risen his body up a little bit more and regained his balance, he might have gone in, but didn't happen.
So Bedford with the ball, knocking on the doorstep.
2nd and goal from about the 2. I'd just keep giving it to Toscano here and let this go.
Under 9 minutes. Snap.
And they do.
Toscano, and he gets stopped. Nice tackle. Those two South guys dragged him down. That was number 75.
Actually, it was 68 on the tackle.
Arneson.
Mike, it was Arneson. Arneson's just such a good instinctive football player. Maybe a yard.
If that.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 1.
So 8:30 to go.
Yeah, they got a yard. 3rd and goal from the 1. All right, now my guess is Morgan may take it in himself.
Fake to Toscano, then roll. Let's see what happens.
Nope, they give it to Toscano, and
he's
he's stopped short.
Does not get in, so that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now, here's an
That's
interesting.
about as close as they can get.
I was just going to say, Harry, I was surprised his body didn't go forward into the end zone on that play. So he gets no gain on it. 4th and goal.
So do we
And
bring
you know
in-
what? No, you know what I do? I mean, look at where the ball is. It's right touching the line almost. Bedford's going to call timeout here, I think. But if I'm the Bulldogs, you got your quarterback, just go right over center and see what happens.
Or you bring in Matty Lucatoni, who's
No.
got a leg.
No, you don't. Because what you want is the touchdown, gentlemen.
Oh,
you want
2.
the touchdown, and you get the extra point. That's where she comes in, and we get running time.
We get running time.
And that much quicker to Yankees Red Sox.
That's why they pay.
Well, that much quicker to Tom's Grill.
That's
what we're talking about here, guys.
That's why Tom King gets paid the big bucks to come up with that analysis, because he's absolutely right.
Oh, yeah.
You want the clock to tick.
I mean, if you're
Yeah,
the
it's cold.
opposing,
You want to go home.
if you're the opposing coach, you want running time. If you're up.
That's funny. All right.
And they're still pitching the shutout. This will be the 3rd straight game, and
that takes the string to 15 quarters.
15 quarters if they can finish the game out with no points for South.
So Bedford.
Now, see, this is where I don't agree. See, I don't agree with
they-
your quarterback and shotgun, just like we were talking about with Nashua South.
Right.
4th and goal.
Morgan waiting for the snap. Hands it to Toscano, and they're
he's
muscling, and he is in. Yeah, just barely, but he's in.
Yeah.
So Toscano gets in. Yeah, it's interesting how they set that up as opposed to going under center and just bulling forward. But
I would just do that. But now, gentlemen, we have the most important play of the night.
I would say
There's
so.
no doubt about it.
So Madison.
And if she misses it, she's doing laps after the game, and I'm going to supervise.
Madison. Madison back. Remember, there's a snapper, a holder, and a kick, and they all work because
And
that
they got
one's
it.
good.
Has she missed it all this year?
She's missed one extra point, and
it might have been a bad hold.
yeah. She hit a 40-yard field goal in the Jamboree to win it for Bedford. This girl we interviewed her at the beginning of the year. She's a really good kid.
Yep.
She's a hockey player in addition to a football player.
Yes.
And a softball player. And she does a great interview.
I mean, she was at the boys' varsity for a while before Bedford's girls
Got
team
their
launched.
girls team last year was the first year, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But we don't discriminate here. If she missed it and it was a bad hold, we would get the holder to do the laps after the game. So.
No question. Or the guy who snapped it.
Right.
The long snapper. So we have 3 people, but they all did their job, and Madison topped it off. And now we're going to have running time here at Stello Stadium, Montefiore, with Bedford up 35-0 with 8:15 to go in the game. And, I don't want to say it was a dominant performance by Bedford because it wasn't.
Well, it was.
I mean,
it was. Defensively, it was. I mean, offensively, they took what the defense gave them and they scored their points because they got good field position, they got turnovers, and a good kickoff return. So they didn't dominate and light up the board offensively. They let their defense do the job for them.
Yeah.
But Nashua South was really never in this game, Mike and Harry. You just don't have they don't have the
horses.
They don't have the experience. I think they've got the horses in the backfield. I don't think they have the experience up front. And Dante Young's, first year of our starting quarterback. And if he's comfortable, you know, he'll do the job, but you know, he doesn't feel comfortable when you got 5 white shirts trying to hunt you down in the backfield.
That was Michael Rustine, by the way, on the return for
All right, so
South.
Rustine's out there.
And
Now
he's
we
out
got-
there now as quarterback, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, and we've got
Counter.
27.
27.
The
Nice
streak
one.
could
Look
go.
at
Let's see. Nope.
Joshua Campo, his brother.
Yeah.
this. Is that who it is?
Huge carry, yeah.
This is the tough part of the game for me because all the new players are in. We got to
Right.
learn all the new numbers and
Okay, so why is the clock stopped?
yeah,
Clock-
run the
It's
clock.
running
run
now.
The
It's
clock.
running
Yeah,
now.
run the clock. Do not stop this clock. No reason to.
So
Yeah,
big,
third
Running time.
about a 35-yard carry there for Joshua Campo.
Very important. Not good enough. We want the running time.
And Campo, again, he gets taken down a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
The nice part about being up here is we're all pretty close.
Tackle number 59, Alexander Pangalakos.
So Nashua with the ball, 6:41 to go. Ball is on the Bedford 33-yard line.
Now, do we have Bedford's second unit in there
I
defensively? Looks that way. They look,
believe
small,
so,
they look
yeah.
smaller.
Well, Dwight is still out there.
Yeah, they probably have a few first teamers in, but a lot of the younger players are in there, I would imagine.
So handoff coming
Frost.
this way. That's Frost. He's still in there. But he's
Picks up
dragged
a 3.
down.
Brought down by number 55, and White.
So that's going to bring up a third down. Ball on the 25-yard line of Bedford. 6 minutes to go. Clock ticking. Rustine trying to get the Nashua South in the end zone for the first time today. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Direct snap to Rustine. He's dragged down.
And he loses the ball.
Ball's on the ground.
Oh,
And
boy.
it looks like Sanchez picked it up.
5 fumbles.
So Sanchez picked it up on a fumble by Rustine. He wasn't going to get any. He wasn't going to get the first down. The ball gets coughed up, and Sanchez picks it up for Bedford. So,
Ouch. Ouch if you're a South fan
yeah.
or player.
Quick update on some scores. Got some good games elsewhere. Londonderry just clinging to a 4-point lead now in the third quarter, 24-20. Winnicott with a touchdown. Wyndham and Salem a tight one, 17-14. The Jaguars leading there in the third in Salem. Goffstown ahead 13-6 over Central at Gill Stadium. Concord still 21-7 over Manchester Memorial, and Dover 35-0 over Portsmouth.
So that's handoff. Bedford 21 up the middle.
That's
so
Mike Axton.
That's Axton, and I believe that's Skilling out there for the Aaron Skilling, number 10 for Bedford.
And no sooner did I give you that Londonderry score, but they ran back a fumble recovery. It's now 31-20 Londonderry.
No, that's number 18 for Bedford. Hold on, what do we got out there?
A lot of new players is what you got out there.
That's not Skilling.
No, it's 18, Harry. Who do we got for 18?
He takes off. That's Ryan Bobo. No?
Alexander
Zwickau.
Zwickau.
Zwickau is out there. That's right.
And he calls his own number and carries it for a first down.
First down. Big gain, first down. Just under 4 minutes now to go here in the Stella Stadium, Modern Field.
South will fall to 2-4. Bedford will be at 6-0. We only
6-0.
have 4 weeks to go. No, 3 weeks to go in the regular season. 3 weeks.
Yeah, it feels like it just started.
It does.
Handoff Bedford this side.
There's
up the
Axton
middle.
again.
Axton gets into Nashua territory to about the 46-yard line. Looks like they're going to move the sticks again.
Yep.
First down.
Axton's a solid second line running back that I think he'll be groomed for a starting position next year.
Moves well with the ball.
Toscano's a senior, correct?
He is.
Where is he looking to go?
I don't know. Haven't heard, but he's going somewhere if he wants to go, I would say.
Is football his main sport, or does he play other sports?
I don't know that.
Red Sox getting one in the bottom of the third. It's now 4-0.
Wouldn't surprise me if he was a lacrosse player.
Yeah.
Always that cross
That-
sport.
yeah,
to play.
exactly. 2:50 to play in the football game. 35-0.
Axton with the carry, picks up 4 yards there.
So 2:35 to go here. Clock's ticking away.
Ball carried over 21, Michael Paxton. Stop number 24, Henry Hanya.
Bedford waiting for the snap. Snap comes back to pass, fires downfield, and that's going to be
Oh, the
caught.
defender backed
catch.
away. But he could have gone right in and made a play on the ball. I don't understand that at all.
I think Green actually got away with a little bit of a push.
You think so?
Little
You think
sugar
so?
push,
I don't know.
yeah.
I watched the defender. I thought the defender moved back on his own, Harry.
Green with a
I'd
big
have to see it
catch
again.
and gain there of Zwickau. With actually,
Right.
the pass from Zwickau
But you know what
was great.
now? If I'm Bedford, what I do is I take a knee
I
four
do
plays.
too,
I
yeah.
don't even try to score
Yeah.
here. There's no reason to.
No reason to. Let's see what. I don't know.
A
Looks
lot
like-
of coaches just don't do it. I don't understand why. A shotgun snap with 1:37 to
Yeah.
go,
Well,
handoff, and
Yeah, it's and you
yeah,
know what?
it's
There's
just
no,
not. There's
Axton.
no reason
there's
for
no,
that.
There's no need for that.
No need for it.
No.
Take a knee. Let the clock run.
Even if you've got JV players out there, you take the knee. We got the
So
replay.
Yeah, he
Axton with the
bodied him off
11-yard
ball.
carry.
He did body him off the ball, but you know what? Your defender push it. That was 21 on the touchdown.
Yeah, Axton,
How many yards on that?
11 yards.
All right. 42-0 will be the final. She makes it.
which she does.
Yeah. But
So,
why?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
Tom,
why?
I'm with you. I don't.
I don't get it.
I don't
take,
agree with
you
it.
take the knee, the clock runs out, you win the game 35-0.
Only bad things can happen.
I just don't.
One is people don't feel that good about you, and the second thing is somebody could get hurt on these next two or three plays. You should just get home.
Just get home. I
Get
mean,
on the bus. Let's
you
go
want,
home.
you want, you know, everybody, all these rules for player safety now and everything else with the preseason, everything else. Tell your coaches, take a knee.
Yeah.
It's not done enough. Earlier in the year, I saw North against Goffstown. The quarterback was inexperienced. He made a read instead of being told to take a knee. And I didn't care. I went over and I yelled at the offensive coordinator. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, he was on his own to make a read." I said, "Don't put him on his own. Tell him to take a knee."
Yeah.
It's that simple. Why run a play?
No argument here.
No. And this is the other thing I don't like about the running time rule. It stops after the score.
Right,
Keep it
and
going.
that's why you're upset,
No
because the
reason
clock
to.
stopped.
There's no reason. Well, why do they have that rule? Let it run.
Yeah, let it run.
Let it run.
Yeah, if it's run time, let it run.
Let it run. They do it in hockey, right? After a score, they let it run.
Yeah.
After a penalty, they let it run.
Number 11, Brendan Frost.
So Brendan Frost with the
I gotta go for
return.
that. I gotta go for that NHIA job someday.
I think he'd
Tell
be good
Colin.
at it.
I think Collins out of there.
They're looking for officials.
move
Maybe you
in.
could
I don't wanna be
volunteer in
an
your spare
official.
time.
He wants to run it.
I want to run. I want to run the whole. I want to be the emperor of New Hampshire sports.
The Grand Poobah
Yeah, I would change
of the
everything.
NHIAA.
Change it all.
So, couple snaps here, and this thing should be over.
And they're going to run a play here. They're not
Well,
going to take the
listen,
knee.
I don't blame.
Well,
I don't blame
the other
Nashua.
team for not. For, you
Yeah,
know,
I
No,
don't-
but I mean, you're down 42 to
Nashua's
nothing.
not gonna give up.
All you're going
No.
to do is get hurt.
right.
No, I agree. Nashua shouldn't give up. Bedford was the one that should have
Bedford
taken
should have surrendered
Yeah.
first.
it. Absolutely right.
The hero
now this
with
is-
the carry for no gain.
This might do it, but you know what? Look at, I'm good for them. They're going to run another play.
The hurry-up offense. They only need 42 in 21 seconds.
Yeah, listen, it's a moral victory now. Get some positive yards. You got kids out there that normally don't play, and they're getting some playing time.
And that was Joshua.
So that is that.
Campbell,
Now that is going to
no
do
gain.
it. So
And you've got a chance, guys. That's 15 quarters, right, Harry?
15 quarters
15
scoreless.
quarters, and next week you play Girton, which has been very so-so on offense. Depending on who they've got quarterbacking and how they run their offense and what the game is like. So
And then Keene after that. I mean,
Right.
they may not give up a point until
they could
Merrimack.
get this thing going. Keep this thing going.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Tom, thank you so much. We're going to wrap this thing up here in
Yeah,
Nashua.
real quick scoring update here. It was Lagulon with 2 touchdowns, one on a pass from Morgan, 7-0, then a 20-yard run, made it 14-0 after the first. It was Toscano with a 17-yard run in the second quarter, 21-0 at the half. A 3-yard pass to Sanchez with 4 seconds remaining in the third. That made it 28-0 after 3. And then Toscano with a 1-yard run. And then finally at the end of the game there, Axton with an 11-yard run. That makes it 42-0 Bulldogs.
Listen, I want to thank Nashua ETV and Pete Johnson for having us down here in the crew. They did a great job. They treated us right. They gave us cookies. They gave us a nice window to broadcast out of. So we want to thank Pete. I want to thank John Collins for allowing me to step in and call the game tonight. Tom King on color, always a pleasure with Nashua Telegraph. BCTV and Bedford 105.1 Radio. I want to thank Harry Kozlowski, the other voice over there. I call him the voice because he's got the voice, our engineer, and then Bill Jennings from BCTV on-site guys. So,
and Chris Gentry, are you watching in Cancun?
We hope Chris is in Cancun watching. But anyways, final score from Stella Stadium, Mata Field, is Bedford 42, Nashua South 0. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.